I can see that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to head out, let you do your thing.
Hey, rock on. Christopher
Hey,
Hilgenberg,
nice
thank
to
you.
meet
You can
you.
see him
Nice to
at
meet you,
Hilgenberger on Twitter.com.
Hi, I'm sometimes funny.
Chris is actually
funny a lot of the
always
time.
funny.
He's always funny.
He's also
Yeah,
an
he's always
incredible
funny.
goaltender for the beer league. Rejects, let's go.
Yes.
Oh shit, I should have got another beer.
I'll get you one.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
You're a
Aw.
buddy.
It was excellent meeting you guys finally.
Take it easy,
Yes,
Chris.
it really
was
was
really nice to
meeting you.
meet
Nice to meet you.
All right, thank you, Chris.
We'll do it one day in person.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Okay, let me get this going. I'm going to leave that in. So we got
Do it.
5 minutes of a guest. So Habs lose 4 goals, nothing, to the Maple Leafs. The Habs are fucking terrible. I'm done. There's no other rhyme or reason about it. There's no give. There's no drive. Thank you for the beer, Chris. I appreciate it. Have yourself a good one. Drive safe. Text me when you get home. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. So, but yeah, they're just god awful, and they are losing this series on their own terms. Too bad, so sad. Lose the 5 games of the regular season. You can make the excuse that they're tired. You can make the excuse that they're tired now, because you play like a month and a half of hockey. 4 games a week through that entire terrible schedule thing. Get a week off and some practices in. They don't got it. They don't got it. And there's plenty of oh wait, actually at the same time, since the audio actually sounds terrible right now, everyone's echoing. That's my fault. I'm about to fix that. There, that should be fixed now.
But we haven't said anything yet. So.
Yeah, that was my fault. But yeah, it's just they're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible. The power play fucking sucks. It fucking sucks.
And speaking to that, and I'm guilty of this myself. I've spoken about it many times on Habby Hour. We as fans, we can't even. It's not even worth it to get mad at imbalanced penalties being called, because when the Habs do get penalties, nothing comes from them.
Yeah, but
the Habs had
go ahead.
a
Sorry.
couple of good power plays in the middle of the season, but they haven't really produced anything on them ever since. So what's the point in getting mad when the other team doesn't get calls, because they don't do anything.
The other thing that they're not doing on the power play is shooting.
No.
And it's hard to disagree with anything that you said at the beginning, Dave, except for that. I mean, it's kind of baffling that it seems. I was talking to Max when we were watching the game, and I said it seems that every time the Habs are able to get a shot off, whether it's on the power play or not, it seems like there's 28 leaves in front of the net. Like it just seems like there's more leaps on the ice than there is Habs. And one more thing though,
and it's numeric advantage. That was one comment I made about, and I'll just make this really quick. Sorry, Veronica. Yeah. Just really quick, where I watched the Habs live with Christopher in New Jersey, and their power play was terrible then. And I was screaming from the upper bowl, it's 5 versus 4. And they can't do anything. Continue.
So the other thing that I was going to mention is Jeff Petrie doesn't look right.
No.
Yeah, there's something up with
Really
him.
does not look right. And the other one who doesn't look right is Brendan Gallagher.
And Gallagher. That was my thought as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who looks right aside from Caulfield and Kotkaniemi and Suzuki?
Yeah, and Suzuki.
The whole team is just
Perry.
Carey looks
and
Perry and Stahl
Carey.
tonight.
Carey, yeah.
No,
I mean-
Perry and
Oh,
Stahl
Perry.
tonight.
Oh.
That was the best line almost.
Yeah, no, Perry and Stahl were in on it, and it's just they don't have an answer.
No.
They're doing the same things over and over again, and I don't know if it's wherever their heads are at, if it's whatever the coaching staff is telling them, but it looked like the majority of the shots that were taken came from the same. It didn't matter what side of the ice they were shooting towards. They were always shooting from the right face-off circle.
You know what
directly at the chest.
What was not happening is that the Habs don't have a seam pass. They can't make a pass this game either. Jesus Christ. They couldn't keep the puck on their sticks. They go to make a pass, it bounces off into no man's land. But when they actually get actual offensive zone time, They're going to piddle it around the outside of the boards, do the umbrella between the 2 points, piddle around the outside of the boards, and eventually get a shot on Jake Campbell that sees it coming from a mile away. They can't do anything. That was the entire game. Jack Campbell didn't have to move a lick to make those saves.
No.
Well, maybe there's like 1 or 2 that were all right. Like, they got 2 good chances on the rush. That one Brandon Gallagher rush was really great, but, stopped. But how many rush chances are you going to get? The people say that the Habs are a great rush team. That's awesome. Not awesome when there's only like 3 or 4 rush chances a game. There's a whole other part of hockey aside from the goddamn rush chances. 5-on-5 play, the motherfucking power play, and just everything else. Alex Burrows, what are you doing? You getting your fucking Sedin hand puppets out and telling the Habs do what you and Henrik and who's the other Sedin twin?
Henrik and
Oh my God. Daniel, thanks. Holy shit. Oh my God, I can't believe that. So Henrik and it's like, oh, this is what we used to do when we were on the team together. It's not working, Alex Burrows. It's not working. This is the playoffs. And the power play looks fucking anemic. And it's been anemic all season. But Beth, as you said, a week or 2, it was really good.
Yeah.
But overall, it's awful.
Well, special teams have been an issue
for half a decade.
Yeah, and I don't know I can't tell you what has to be done to fix it. I really cannot. But there's a huge fucking problem. And it needs to be addressed. And at this point, I'm ready to see a lot of change. Like personnel wise.
I'm not opposed.
If
that to happen.
If the Habs made a series out of it, sure. But this is becoming like the one series against Tampa Bay where they just looked like they had given up by game 3. I forget what year that was. But yeah, if this is the case, Simon Salakis said it at the beginning of the season. This is Marc Bergevin's team. If this team is out in the first round with this kind of effort, Bergevin, pack it up. There needs to be a new vision. In particular, and a lot of people on a group chat diamond have been mentioning this. Shout outs to first person I can think of is Emmanuel. Great head in Montreal. Awesome kid. A lot of great people in that group chat. Emily, D. Oh my God. G is in there. Joachim, Jacob. You all know your names. Thank you for all of your talking insight. Give me a shout out here. Bergevin said Romanov is NHL ready. Put him in the fucking playoffs. Do something. He had a shit last 2 weeks. If he's not if he's NHL ready, he's ready for the playoffs. There needs to be something on that back end because for all the play that Sherratt and Weber bring to the Habs, man, anytime that they were hemmed to their zone, Sherratt and Weber just didn't have an answer for it. They were playing their game, their physical game, but that physical game did not become transition opportunities for the Habs to break it out. And then they're so tired, they have to go for the goddamn line change anyway. The entire game. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, it almost feels like I am a no quitter, but at 3-0 in the second, I was just like, for the first time in many years, and we have seen pretty bad iterations of this team, I really thought I don't want to watch the rest of the game.
Oh yeah.
I felt the same way. Like I didn't want to watch the game. I didn't want to record tonight. I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I had
and now we have to do a podcast. Like, ooh.
Awesome.
Not even I can think of something.
I had Chris over and we were watching the game and he's like, well, third period down 3-0. Who's a team that choked the Leafs? I'm like, yeah, true. This Leafs team is a bit different from the past ones, but who knows what can happen. Also, aside from Chris, we have a friend, Nick. Nick is a huge Winnipeg Jets fan. of all
good for him. He
teams.
must be happy.
Yeah, he like, I can't say it on the podcast. I'd have to edit it out, but he's very happy. But yeah, I mean, a similar situation, Edmonton, Winnipeg, that comeback win. Habs could have done it. Third period starts and they win that faceoff. Sherratt roofs it. Then they lose the faceoff right afterwards. Thanks, Sherratt. What was Sherratt doing tonight? Not great. Not a banner evening. Not a banner evening for Petrie. It's just go down the list. Thank God the kids look good because, man, Caulfield was on a mission. He really was.
Play the kids. Literally just fuck it. Like, what do we have to lose? Play next on Thursday. Play the kids. Put them all on the fucking top lines.
Bring up Ilonen. Fuck it at this
yeah.
point. Jesus.
Give Jesse a game. Give Belzile a game. Give Romanov a game.
Why
May
is
as
that?
well.
Why do we want to give inexperienced? Why do we want to give so much time?
Because they're
to
the ones
inexperienced?
putting in the effort.
They, man,
They're the ones on the ice that are showing up and doing things.
we need
The
to see.
veterans aren't doing any as much.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
it's
They're
so
pulling back.
that's the logical
Okay.
thing with that, because what we saw tonight, Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, and Caulfield were engaged. They're on different lines. Well, no, Suzuki and Caulfield were together, but Suzuki and Caulfield with Toffoli, they seemed like the best line for the Habs,
Yeah.
even though that's not really saying much.
Yeah, I know. I think like I was thinking I was careful not to look at me looking at Twitter during the game, but I did see on the trending topics that Bergevin was trending. And
Naturally.
although, yeah, of course.
You got a shout out on radio by Dan, by the way.
Yeah, I heard that because I was listening, like game changer, life changer, as I was saying, to be listening on TSN 690. Usually I'm so sort of ineffective at syncing it that, you know, like I tried syncing it yesterday, I tried syncing it on Saturday. And so I just it doesn't really work. So I just listen, I just watch it on mute. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Bergevin was trending.
Yeah.
And it's just like, although I think he addressed all the needs in the off season, but something is not working, man. Something is not with Toffoli. His job is to score. He hasn't scored. Josh Anderson scored in game 1, hasn't been able to do anything since.
There's
Jake Allen really worked out very well, but something's not working, man.
The defensive game is really, I think, what comes down to like the crux of the problem with the Habs is that Sherratt, Weber, Edmondson, Petrie. Those are our top 4. Petrie's probably the only guy that can really move the puck, but if he has a bad game, that's it. Kulak and Merrill didn't have great games either. The bottom pairing there, and it really comes down to the whole philosophy that the Habs have had in the Bergevin era regarding defense. Stay at home and crush them. Sure, that can work against teams. It's not working against the Maple Leafs. And for some reason, there's no real way to mitigate what the roster is in order to counter it. That's it. The Habs just don't have the answer unless they bring up Otto Leskinen. May as well, you know. He's a kid. He's a mover. He's a hitter too. Imagine a bottom pairing of Romanov and Otto Leskinen. Hello, that would be a crushing, fast bottom pairing.
I mean,
And it's... Sorry, go ahead.
I do agree with you, Dave, but goal support is still a huge issue for the Montreal Canadiens. And Carey Price has less than 2 goals per game and goal support for God knows how long.
I have a stat on that I don't have. This is from memory because it's been floating around in Twitter and on Sportsnet. It's a 1.92 since 2015 that Carey... That's the average amount of goals that Carey gets for him when he's playing in a playoff game, and it's the lowest in the league since 2015. The Habs have the worst record in the playoffs in the league since 2015 at home. And there's another one about that too.
Goals for.
Yeah, goals for. That ties into the Carey Price thing too. But yeah, goals for since 2015, they can't score. They cannot score. And a second part to what I was mentioning about the defense, if you can transition the puck out of your zone to the offense effectively, there's your offense. And get away from the boards. Man.
Yeah, get away from
Everything
the boards.
was
That's
so
making me
outside.
crazy.
I was like, we're not licking the outside of an ice cream sandwich. Play some fucking hockey, please.
But it's been the same thing since the Terrien. You know, Terrien did that. You know, on the power play, launch the puck in, and hopefully we can race and get it before the other team.
And every coach has done it since.
Yeah. And and the only other factor with that is Bears event. How much influence does he have on what happens? What's the difference?
I hope not much.
Between, well, let's talk about, you know, him apparently doing the coach's challenge on the goaltender interference. Game 2. What? Why would he do that?
I mean, based on, I don't know about that. I mean, based on like the video of him up in the box pointing to the screen, but I mean, is he the one who challenged? Like, I don't know, man. Like the GM shouldn't be challenging.
He shouldn't
goals.
be.
The GM shouldn't be coaching.
Shouldn't be.
So I think that's just a narrative, a lazy narrative that goes out around among fans.
Beth, I have something to add just before that. Claude Julien's on record saying, I speak to Marc Bergevin every day. And who knows what that's about? It's a speculation that we can add to everything here.
Yeah.
But, you know, of course, the coaches are going to speak to the GM, and you have to wonder how much input's going around. Dom Ducharme's also an interim coach. Who knows?
Yeah,
Beth, you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Like exactly how much communication there is between the box and the bench.
Just
Yeah.
That was just like I don't know how much there is, but that just seems odd to me.
It would be odd.
In the middle of the game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like if anyone did it first, or if anyone were to do it, Marc Bergevin doing it wouldn't surprise me. But the whole concept in general is just not something.
I wouldn't expect it either, honestly.
Yeah.
But the same, because, you know,
If I were a coach, I wouldn't accept that job if the GM was telling me what to do all day.
Yeah. And Marc Bergevin just said before the off season, he's like, if I'm coaching, if I'm telling the coach how to do their job, then I'm not hiring the right coach, or I'm not doing my job properly.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm starting to think of other things that Bergevin has said in the past. I'm kind of thinking like, I think it's starting to become hot air. Or if it's been hot air for a while. In particular, what I mentioned about Romanov before. Romanov's NHL ready. Use him. Merrill's not helping. Kulak's not helping. There was something that came up on Twitter. The Habs D-Corps has 0 points in this series compared to, at the time, Leafs have 6, I think, points between their D-Corps on the Habs. It's just, it's bad. Everything is bad.
Hard to argue that after tonight's game.
It's tough. I mean, game 5 hasn't been played yet.
It's not
right.
over till it's over, but
Habs could win the next 3. Who knows?
I'm not too inspired about Thursday night at this point. I'm going to have to recharge.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not all that inspired either from what I saw tonight, what I saw last night. Game 2, maybe. Game 1, I was happy. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Game 1 was amazing.
Yeah. Well, you know what the other thing is, too? The Habs can't win 4 games in a row, but they can win 3 in a row. That's happened.
That has happened.
Anyway, we got actually
Tampa.
We have a bunch of
What
time
year was
left.
that?
Well, freaking who was in goal in Tampa? I forget who that was because it wasn't.
I don't care. They won 4 in a row.
Yeah, but that goalie was terrible.
So
terrible, and that was an awesome series. 2015, 16, or 14, 15. One
14,
of the two.
I think.
Yeah. That was the last time there was perpetual joy for the Habs in the playoffs, I think.
That was the year that Kreider killed Carey Price.
That's right. So it'd be 14, 15. Awesome. Just great. Also, something funny that Chris mentioned to me.
He's so funny.
Chris is great. I love
Yeah,
Chris.
This is wonderful.
As soon as the border opens, we want to go to a game together in Ottawa, and stuff like that. If you guys are in town, please, let's do that. Because I think that'd be super cool.
That would be
But,
fun.
crap, what was
Get
it?
My Andrew Hammond jersey.
My vendetta against referees being on the ice stands. Because there were 3 or 4 instances this game, both against both the Habs and the Leafs, where an official interferes with the game, be it blocking a player or blocking a puck, and it happens. And Chris, he argued with me about it earlier today. He's like, Dave, they need the refs and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, Chris, if you say so. And then he's watching the game, and then he says, Dave, now that you said that, it's really weird that it happens. Because he made the case. Oh, yeah, refs in American football get in the lanes of runners. I'm like, I don't see that too often, right? NBA. Oh, well, they have designated areas to be. I'm like, well, yeah, of course, that's the case. And then we were just giving examples, and it was just nuts. But there were cases today where it happened again. Would it have changed the outcome of the game? No. But it's funny, too, because last night, in last night's game, on the penalty kill, Nick Suzuki was against the boards chasing a puck. Fucking ref stepped on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it's like, Jesus Christ. How can anyone say that this is helping the game?
Yes.
Any team. It can happen to any team.
In most other sports that have referees, players are simply using their feet. They're just their plain old feet to get around. And it's easier to stop or change direction, to go around a ref or what have you. And yes, hockey players are very adept on their skates, and they can change direction, whatever, but it's a lot harder to subtly change direction when a person is in your way.
Piggybacking on that point, they also have to think about it.
Yeah.
And a ref has to think about where he is.
Yeah.
So for that split second that he has to have a neuron in his brain hit another one, that's a missed call. Yeah. That's he's not thinking about his job. He's thinking about getting out of the way of the play. Is it part of his job? Yes. It shouldn't be.
No.
It's so crazy that people are like,
we were just Peter Pan play wires over the ice, that'd be fine. Like,
just put them on beach chairs next to the lines, man.
Yeah.
Jesus
Exactly.
Christ.
Like tennis judges.
Man.
Exactly. Give them
You don't see a tennis judge throwing a clipboard at the ball, It's crazy.
Binoculars.
Oh my God. But
I did see a tennis referee stab the grass once because there was a dead spot in the court, and so they had to stab it to get like air underneath there so the ball would bounce, because otherwise the ball just would drop and stay there on the court.
Wow.
Cool.
That's
And
an
they can shout
official
like tennis judges.
That's enough. That's somebody doing their job. It's like, I have a page in the rule book where I can do this.
I have a pocket knife. Let's go.
I have a shit right here ready to go.
It was something that was kind of funny at the end of the game
What's that?
where Hyman missed the empty net.
Oh yeah, that was great. It was so.
Hyman and Matthews. It's just
And
crazy.
Matthews.
So
And then
much.
who gets it? Galchenyuk.
So much talent. Chucky had himself a game. Good
He
for
did.
Chucky.
Point night.
He really
He
did
did.
have a great game. Good for Chucky.
And Campbell.
It's really a testament to the development of the Toronto Maple Leafs, how they turned Chucky's career around, isn't it? For one game
After
in the
he's
playoffs.
on his like 8th team.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's such a crazy thing with Galchenyuk. If he succeeds in
Crazy.
Toronto, good. But could you imagine could you imagine that Chucky is like the Kraken's pick for them and he ends up on another team? I have no idea if that could actually I don't have the expansion draft rules up, but I could imagine that just being the craziest thing to happen. I'd be pissed because it's like, oh, they're just letting go of Galchenyuk, so the Toronto Maple Leafs, get to keep all their great players. Son of a bitch. I don't even want to talk about the expansion draft. We're not there yet.
No, we're not talking about it.
We might have to talk about it next week, but not.
But not yet. Not yet.
We're still alive.
Technically still alive, and I can only imagine what Dom's.
Yeah, I can't. Dom's talking right now.
Yeah, man. Dominic Ducharme. What, man? That was bad. That was bad.
Yes.
The thing is, like, something I've been mentioning in an unfair way about the Habs over the last stretch of the regular season is that they haven't been able to rise to the occasion. They haven't been able to rise to the occasion at home. Imagine if there was a crowd there. There would be a riot. I probably wouldn't throw a cop car into the St. Lawrence, but I'd definitely find like a golf cart and just throw it into St. Lawrence. Done. Then get arrested.
Scooters.
Then extradited to the United States.
It is kind of baffling that they're in the playoffs outright, legitimately. They were last year as well, even though everybody said they didn't deserve to be there. But there were teams that were in a playoff position that didn't make it through the qualifying round. So I'd say the Habs did deserve to be in the playoffs last year. But to have the opportunity now to play for the Stanley Cup,
they put up a much better effort
baffling.
against the Flyers. This
sure.
series against the Flyers series, man. I'd rather take the Habs team of last playoffs than whatever's going on now. It's so crazy.
I don't know what's going on.
So crazy.
It's inexplicable. I mean, the Leafs are obviously
they're a tremendous team. That's the thing.
They're a great team.
They have an amazing top six.
Excuse for
Mediocrity.
what's happening right now.
For no
To
effort.
get so blown out, especially with Bergevin saying, I built this. Well, did he really say it? I built this team for the playoffs, or is that the media putting a quote out there?
He said that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
What he always says is get to the playoffs and then
Anything's possible, but
anything's possible. But
Well, guess
not
what?
when only 5 people show up every night.
Yeah.
game one, I don't understand how you don't duplicate that effort, how you don't replicate that effort in the following games.
I'm sure players are playing hurt, but that can be said about both teams, though. But it's like there's Petrie. It was a regular season thing. It's now a postseason thing. The play of the Habs really hinges on Petrie being good, and he was not as good. Not terrible, but man, there were plays today that really just made you double think your standards.
Yeah.
But so okay, we're past our time. Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. Game 5 on Thursday night.
Listen to your hype up playlists.
Prove yourself.
Yeah.
Back in
Not
Toronto.
over yet. Prove yourselves.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. They're on the brink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, as the Sportsnet guy said, I turned up the volume at the end. The first potential elimination game of the series.
Awesome. I
So,
love potential elimination
Act like
games.
You fucking care.
Because we do.
We do. We're here for you.
We're
Look at
here.
us. Look at us having to put together a post-game show after that.
I'm fucking
Eric?
thrilled. I'm having
I
the
did
best
wear
time of my
Barbara
life
Cole
right now.
jersey because I was mad.
Barbara
I
Cole's
was like-
cool.
I was like, "Fuck you guys!" I love you guys. But fuck you guys. You're gonna Barbara Cole
No.
tonight. No, like I'm just like, I love you, but I'm mad. So I'm wearing the cursed jersey because now they already lost. I can't do anything.
Chris
I can
was-
still love you and be mad.
Exactly.
Chris was so amped to come over today, and the Habs disappointed him.
Oh no.
It was so. I know, as a Senators fan, he really would want the Leafs to lose.
He does too. He has
But it was
zero.
really good to see him.
I have a whole group chat of my hockey friends that have zero, absolutely zero affection for the Leafs, and they're rooting for the Habs. One of them's a Bruins fan. He wants the Leafs to lose terribly. And the Habs are going to disappoint my little hockey world.
One of our listeners too, Cold Canuck Keith. He is a Bruins and a Jets fan because he lives in Winnipeg, and he's just like, I'm a
Bruins.
Habs fan right now. He's a Bruins fan first, but he lives in Winnipeg, so he also likes the Jets.
Thank you, Keith.
So he's laughing right now.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Really. And
Thanks, my
my
listener.
my final thought is with the power play, man, Gallagher, Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, Caulfield, Petrie, or Romanov.
Do it.
That's your first line,
Listen.
your first unit. Do it. Put all the kids in one bucket and add Gallagher.
Toss them in there.
No, honestly, because it's just it dies, and it dies in the most terrible way.
Even
How many
NBC
freaking
NBC Sports Network commentators were like, "Habs another power play. There goes their momentum."
yeah. Oh my God. There was a point at the NBC broadcast where they said second intermission. It was 3-0, and they were like, somebody said they're not coming back. They're not moving. They're going to lose this game.
Yep.
And the guy was like, and his partner said something like, "Well, stick with us for the rest of the game."
But was he wrong though?
He wasn't wrong.
Don't move that dial.
Yeah, it was four chances on the power play. Hey, they won faceoffs this game. Ha ha.
Did.
40 hits to 16. Didn't fucking help. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Next game is on Thursday night. I think at 7:00, a normal time. And that's it.
We'll see y'all after.
Go Habs, go.
Go
Habs, go.
We're on the brink. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Drink responsibly.